What do you want? Oh, my God. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we start with the roll call, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence this evening for a former town councilor. Michael Lazo was Precinct 4 town councilor in 1976 through 1978, and unfortunately passed away this weekend. So could we please take one moment of silence for our former councilor, Michael Lazo. Thank you. Could I have a roll call, please?
Councillor Clements?
Present.
Councillor Langevin?
Present.
Councillor Marcucci?
Present.
Councillor Moriarty?
Present.
Councillor Nicola?
Present.
Councillor Peliquin?
Present.
Councillor Regis?
Present.
Councillor Vandal? 8 here.
Thank you. Agenda item number 3. A, consider and accept amended town council minutes of Monday, April 29th, 2013.
So moved.
Any discussion? I'm going to do this together. B, consider and accept town council meeting minutes of Monday, May 13th, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Madam Chair, I
Counselor.
abstain from both.
Okay. Could I have a roll call, please?
Councillor Langevin?
Yes.
Councillor Marcucci?
Yes.
Councillor Moriarty?
Yes.
Councillor Nicola?
Yes.
Councillor Peliquin?
Yes.
Councillor Regis?
Abstain.
Councillor Vandal?
Yes.
Councillor Clements?
Yes.
7 yes, 1 abstain.
Thank you. 4, subcommittee reports. A, general government. Councilor Regis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A meeting of the General Government Subcommittee was held on Tuesday, May 14, 2013, in the George Parent Conference Room. In attendance were Chairwoman Regis, committee members Councilor Langevin, Councilor Peliquin, citizen members Larry Spinelli and Michael Janes. Also in attendance were Councilor Nicola, Councilor Clements, Councilor Moriarty, Town Manager Clark, Heather Blakely, Karen Hanois, Mark DeFranzo, and Madeline Dowse. Chairwoman Regis called the meeting to order at 7 p.m. Agenda item number 1 was discuss and vote to appoint Attorney Tim Norris of Collins, Loughran, and Peliquin, P.C. of Norwood, Mass. as labor attorney for the town of Southbridge effective immediately through June 30, 2014. Mr. Clark stated we are transitioning to a new labor attorney. We will keep John Carey for the current police department negotiations and start with Tim Norris for the DPW and fire department negotiations, as well as all the other labor disputes. A motion was made by Larry Spinelli and seconded by Councilor Langevin with a favorable recommendation to council to approve the appointment of Tim Norris of Collins, Loughran, and Peliquin, P.C. as labor attorney effective immediately through June 30, 2014. Vote by a show of hands, all in favor, 5-0. Agenda item number 2, vote that the town of Southbridge hereby accepts the provisions of Chapter 32B, Section 20 of the Mass General Laws as amended by Chapter 68, Section 57 of the Acts of 2011, the Act, and establishes other post-employment benefits liability trust fund, the OPEB Trust Fund. The treasurer is hereby designated to serve as custodian of the town of Southbridge OPEB Trust Fund and may employ an outside custodial service to hold the monies in the fund and may, with the approval of the Healthcare Security Trust Board of Trustees, invest in the State Retiree Trust Fund established in Section 24 of Chapter 32A, the sum of $125,000 shall be appropriated from the landfill royalty receipts reserved account number 6790 as the initial investment into the OPEB trust fund. Councilor Nicola asked if this is going to be an ongoing deposit or just to start the fund. Mr. Clark said this will only be funded with monies already in the account. This money will create and fund the account. A motion was made by Larry Spinelli and seconded by Councilor Peliquin with a favorable recommendation to council to accept agenda item number 2 as written. Vote by a show of hands, all in favor, 5-0. Agenda item number 3 was vote to appropriate $375,000 from the landfill royalty receipts reserve account number 6790 to the FY 2014 contributory retirement account. Mr. Clark said this is to create the account and fund the amount as laid out in the funding plan. A motion was made by Larry Spinelli and seconded by Michael Janes with a favorable recommendation to council to accept agenda item number 2 as written, number 3 as written. Vote by a show of hands, all in favor, 5-0. Agenda item number 4 was vote to appropriate $250,000 from the landfill royalty receipts reserve account number 6790 to the FY 2014 capital account to fund the items identified on the town manager's memo dated 5/19/13. Mr. Clark said the capital budget financing plan is twofold. One would be short-term borrowing for agenda item number 5, and the second is the $250,000 from the landfill royalty account to purchase a command car for the fire chief, using the old one as a trade-in for $45,000, building an armory and equipment storage room at the police department for $10,000, 3 vehicles the DPW is contemplating on replacing for $150,000. Details will be provided as to the justification for replacing those vehicles and $42,000 for the purchase of new voting machines. This request is for town administration costs. A motion was made by Larry Spinelli and seconded by Councilor Peliquin with a favorable recommendation to council to accept agenda item number 4 as written. Vote by a show of hands. 4 in favor, 1 opposed. Mr. Janes. Agenda item number 5, vote to authorize the town manager to proceed with the procurement process to purchase a fire pumper truck and to fund this purchase, and that $410,000 is appropriated for the purpose of financing the purchase of a pumper truck, including without limitation all costs to furnish and equip the vehicle, and that to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the town manager, is authorized to borrow $410,000 and issue bonds or notes, therefore, under Chapter 44 of the Mass General Laws, or any other enabling authority, that such bonds or notes shall be general obligations of the town. Chief DeFranzo said this purchase would replace a 1982 pumper, which would be used as a trade-in to purchase the new one. Discussion was held on the need to build a new fire station. A motion was made by Mr. Janes and seconded by Councilor Peliquin with a favorable recommendation to council to accept agenda item number 5 as written. Vote by show of hands, 4 in favor, 1 opposed. Mr. Janes. Agenda item number 6 was vote to transfer $12,000 from the Town Council Reserve Fund, number 1-132-5781, to the Treasurer's Special Services account number 1-145-5300 to fund the cost for tax title purposes. Mr. Clark said there is a process to doing tax title. This amount covers the cost to begin the process on 228 properties. A motion was made by Larry Spinelli and seconded by Michael Janes with a favorable recommendation to council to approve agenda item number 6 as written. Vote by a show of hands. All in favor, 5-0. Agenda item number 7, vote to ratify the contract between the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation and the Town of Southbridge for the management and operation of the Andrew J. Petro swimming pool. Mr. Clark asked if the contract with the state and the management company people will be approved so that the pool might be open by the end of the school year. Mr. Clark said he would be making a change to the DCR shall section item 1 to provide funding in the amount of, and that should be $80,000 instead of $60,000 to the town, provide funding in the amount of $60,000 instead of, was it $50,000?
Yeah, actually, in year 1, it's 80,000. The town agrees to that. In year 2, the state had put 50,000, and the town
60.
wanted 60. And in year 3, the town wanted 40, and the state wanted 30.
Okay.
So
All
just
right.
those, the instead of numbers should be $10,000 less.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Clark.
Thank you.
And that is reflected in the contract that's in the
Yes.
agenda I did. Okay, thank you. A motion was made by Larry Spinelli and seconded by Michael James with a favorable recommendation to council to approve agenda item number 7 as written. Vote by show of hands, all in favor, 5-0. Agenda item 8, discuss implementation of townwide policy regarding purchases of equipment or vehicles over $25,000. Councilor Regis stated Councilor Clements asked that this item be put on the agenda. Councilor Clements discussed the implementation of a townwide policy. Discussion was held on what to put in the policy so that there is accountability on large purchases of equipment or vehicles by the town. Input was given by all members present. Mr. Clark will review and come back with a proposed policy. A motion to adjourn was made by Larry Spinelli and seconded by Council Peliquin. Vote by show of hands, all in favor, 5-0. Meeting adjourned at 8:50 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Evelyn Rivera, recording clerk. And Madam Chair, I do have another meeting scheduled for 7 p.m. on Wednesday, May 29th.
Thank you, Counselor.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
just one correction on agenda item number 5. That was a 1981 pumper
I'm sorry. Oh.
instead of 82, just to have the minutes reflect that, please. Thank you, Madam Chair.
The replacement of a 1981 pumper,
81, yes.
not 1982. Thank you. Okay. B, DPW, Counselor Vandal?
Madam Chair, this is not a, report, subcommittee report, but it's important to some of the people in Southbridge residents. The town of Southbridge has received a grant from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to assist residents with additional tree debris removed in the tornado-impacted areas. Trees and debris can only be removed from public right-of-way areas and on town property. All trees and debris need to be brought to within 10 feet of the edge of the street to be picked up. The contractor will not be allowed to enter private property to remove debris. The town has contracted with a local tree company in town the following days to pick up debris and trees from the edge of the roadways on Brookside Road, Charlton Street, Pleasant Street, and Worcester Street. Monday, May 20th, 2013, Tuesday, May 28th, 2013, Monday, June 3rd, 2013, Monday, June 10th, 2013, Monday, June 17th, 2013, Monday, June 24th, 2013. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact Ron Trudeau at 508-764-5403, extension 6. Sincerely, Heather Blakely, Acting Director of Public Works. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Maybe we can get that posted on the access channel for people so that they can keep track of when that's available to them. C, Education and Human Services, Counselor Marcucci.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No meeting and no minutes to report and no meeting scheduled. Thank you.
D, Planning and Development, Counselor Clements.
Thank you, Madam Chair. A meeting of the Planning and Development Subcommittee was held on Wednesday, May 15th in the Rice Conference Room. Councilor Moriarty, Citizens Member Evelyn Petrelli, and Citizens Member Jamie Staffslin were in attendance, also Town Manager Clark and Cassandra Ackley. We called the meeting at 7 p.m. Agenda item 1, vote to appoint Dave Livingood of Southbridge to the Economic Development Committee effective immediately for a 3-year term to expire June 30th, 2016. A motion was made by Councilor Moriarty and seconded by Evelyn Petrelli with a favorable recommendation to Council to approve agenda item 1 as written. All in favor, 4-0. Agenda item 2, vote to award a bid to Van East Hangen Bruslin Inc., VHB, in the amount of $46,920 for survey and engineering downtown intersection improvements of Hamilton Street, La Rochelle Way, Hook Central, and Foster Streets. Mrs. Ackley said we received 4 proposals. They were rated and awarded to the best quality and best price. This bidder was VHB. The traffic study has been done. This is the second step in the process, and this is all being done with grant funds. A motion was made by Councilor Moriarty, seconded by Jamie Staffslin, with a favorable recommendation to Council to approve agenda item 2. All in favor, 4-0. Agenda item 3, discuss facade rehabilitation projects at 310 Main Street and 44 Hamilton Street, and vote to recommend deferred loans to 310 Main Street LLC in the amount of $38,643, and to P&K Sports Enterprises, Inc. in the amount of $27,852. Mrs. Ackley said 310 Main Street is a three-business building, Main Creations, a small gift store, and Liberty Tax Service. The top floors are residential. 44 Hamilton Street was a bar, and the owner wants to renovate with hopes of renting it out as a pub. There was a lot of discussion on both of these proposals, and it was determined that we would split these up and vote for them separately. So we had a motion made by Council Moriarty and seconded by Jamie Staffslin with a favorable recommendation to Council to approve a deferred loan for facade rehabilitation project at 310 Main Street pending additional review and compliance with other taxes and utility liabilities to the town in the amount of $38,643. There's a vote by show of hands. All in favor, 4-0. The second motion was also made by Council Moriarty and seconded by Jamie Staffslin with a favorable recommendation to Council to approve a deferred loan for facade rehabilitation project at 44 Hamilton Street, pending additional review with compliance of other taxes and utility liabilities to the town in the amount of $27,852. All in favor, 4-0. Agenda item number 4 was a master planning update. Mrs. Ackley gave an update on the master planning process. She said that they had completed several steps toward the ultimate goal. The consultants have taken all the information. It is in the process of evaluating all the data. And she also said that once this is all compiled, that we will all have time to review before the official documents are put together. So we look forward to that. A motion to adjourn was made by Council Moriarty, seconded by Jamie Staffslin, and we adjourned the meeting at 7:45. Respectfully submitted, Evelyn Rivera, recording clerk. We currently have no meeting set, but I believe in the next couple of weeks we'll be having one. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Protection of persons and property, Councilor Langevin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have no report and no meeting scheduled at this time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Chairwoman's announcements. I really don't have any other than to just remind councilors, if you intend to walk in the parade on Monday, please be sure to get to the town hall by 8:30 for the parade. And other than that, I have nothing else right now, so I'm going to turn it over to the town manager, Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't have any specific announcements, other than I would just like to provide a little bit of an overview for the items on the agenda this evening. Items 11, 12, and 13 will be involving actually setting and establishing the budget. Items 14, 15, and 16 deal with the disposition of landfill royalty receipts. And item 17 is a capital appropriation request. Items 18 through 22 are all revolving account type of activities that we would need to establish in order to operate those as revolving accounts. And then item 23 and 24 are salary adjustments for the different schedules for all non-union employees. So just in terms of just kind of scoping out what we're going to attempt to accomplish tonight in terms of all those, and then the other remaining items are just items of specific business. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Clark. Moving on to agenda item number 7, swearing in presentation portion of the meeting. I don't believe we have anything this evening. So I'm going on to agenda item number 8, which is Citizens Forum. Do I have any citizens wishing to come forward this evening? Please state your name and address when you approach the podium.
Good evening, Council. Kevin Buxton, 255 Elm Street. I'm a bit set back. I wasn't aware of Mike Lazo's passing. I'm going to keep it very brief. The agenda item for appointment, I'm speaking of agenda items because I only plan to speak at Citizens Forum, then I'll be leaving. I have a friend of my own who's ill. The agenda item of David Livergood's appointment, I believe there needs to be a correction as far as the term goes, because if he's appointed immediately, his term would technically be 3 years and 41 days. I don't know how the council would handle that. The point being that the difference between June 30th and today, whether the council decides to use May 20th as his immediate appointment. I would also encourage him, as I did myself when I took a position on the landfill oversight, to use the conflict of interest declaration through the Ethics Commission. I have no problem with business owners being part of our Economic Development Committee. It's just good to establish upfront and in advance what corporations or affiliations you have within the town. And lastly, I know you've been going around on as far as the bylaw on marijuana, and it's listed as the marijuana bylaw. I urge the council to list it as the medical marijuana bylaw. It just seems that I don't think we'd want Norm suddenly publicizing all over the country that Southbridge now has a marijuana bylaw. It's a medical marijuana bylaw. Thank you very much.
Any other citizens wishing to come forward? Okay, I'm going to move on then to agenda item number 9. Agenda item number 9, vote to appoint Attorney Timothy Norris of Collins, Loughran, and Peliquin, P.C. of Norwood, Mass. as labor attorney for the town of Southbridge, effective immediately through June 30th, 2014.
So
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Okay, on this agenda item, from what the speaker said, I would entertain a motion to amend this vote to appoint David Livingood of Southbridge to the, and that's not Economic and Development, it's Economic Development Committee, effective June 30th, 2013, for a 3-year term to expire June 30th, 2016.
So moved.
Second? We're going to adjust it. It doesn't make sense as it stands. It can't be a 3-year term and it'd be 37 months.
Right. Could I just question, though? Is there an opening now? Is there an immediate opening?
Now, we have done this in the past in order to, what we really want to do is line people up at the end, so it's not unusual for people to come in midterm. It is an extra 41 days or whatever he figured out. But if the Economic Development Committee needs to do business, it would be better to have him on now while they're trying to make decisions than to just delay for that period of time.
Okay.
Could we not say effective immediately and to continue for a 3-year term starting June 30th through, something like that, effective immediately and then concurrent for the 3-year? I don't know. That's just my thought.
Yeah, it's a thought.
Somebody else?
Did you have a thought too?
Oh, I just wanted to correct it. I believe it's the Economic Development Commission.
Right.
Right, it says committee, so just...
Okay. Yeah. It is a commission.
Commission.
Okay. So you want to adjust this amendment, this vote to say, or amend this vote to say, vote to appoint David Livingood of Southbridge to the Economic Development Commission, effective immediately.
And for a
In
3-year
addition to a
term.
3-year term, effective July 1, 2013 through June 30th, 2016.
Thank you.
Effective immediately in
In
addition.
addition to a 3-year term, effective July 1, 2013 through to expire June 30th, 2016. Madam Chair, if I may recommend.
That's wonderful, thank you. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second it.
Okay. Can I have a roll call, please?
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 10, vote to appoint David Livingood of Southbridge to the Economic Development Commission, effective immediately, in addition to a 3-year term effective June 30th, 2013 to expire June 30th, 2016.
So moved.
Second, that's fine.
Roll call, please.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peloquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clemens?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 11. Vote to adopt the FY 2014 Town of Southbridge General Fund Operating Budget per the attached voting document in the amount of $46,897,126 to be funded as follows. And we're going to go through this.
You can read.
You want me to read this
Yeah,
through?
you can do that.
Okay. Raise and appropriate, $43,191,826. Transfers from other available funds. Sale of street list books, $500. Cable operating account, $116,448. Septic loan program, $6,048. Debt service reserve, $620,000. Perpetual care interest, $2,100. Polling hours, $3,900. Armory debt service reserve, $58,064. Access road debt service, $261,240. Library incentive grant, $15,000. Landfill reimbursement fund, $56,000. Sale of lots and graves, $1,000. Subtotal transfers from other available funds totals $1,140,300. Other transfers. Landfill reimbursement fund, that's $565,000. Landfill royalty fund, $1,100,000. Free cash, $900,000. Subtotal other transfers is $2,565,000. Total general fund budget, $46,897,126.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Thank you, Madam Chair. What I'd like to do is two things. One, I would like to do just a very brief overview of kind of the situation we're in now, just so it's clear for the record. Administration is faced with the task that we have to have a budget, and we have to have a budget voted in the month of May by charter. So I am going to recommend that we go forward tonight and vote that. As I sit here tonight, though, we have different pieces of information. We predicated the budget on the governor's numbers. The governor's numbers have been high in comparison to what the House budget voted and what the Senate Ways and Means budget voted, a fairly significant amount. And I did bring this up at one of the subcommittee meetings. What I would propose for this evening is that we go through the budget. The final numbers, we'll get closer to those final numbers in June or in July. Administration will put together a plan to bring the budget back into balance, because if the House or the Senate Ways and Means budget were adopted today, we would be short. So we do need to come up with a plan. And we just had a meeting today. The Senate Ways and Means just came out at the end of last week with their numbers. I had actually received some assurances that the Senate Ways and Means would be much more generous than the House budget, and that was not the case. So I'm a little bit surprised by the information that we have. The concept that I will bring back in June, that we will have to formally work on, the department heads and the finance team and myself, is to basically recommend that we tax at the full levy capacity. That will actually bring in about $400,000. We will then look also at other town-wide adjustments that we could make And then, if necessary, we will then go in and recommend reductions in individual budgets in order to bring the budget into balance. But the final budget may not, from the state, may not be voted until July. So the number is significant enough where I'd like to begin to work on a plan to make sure we get closer when we get into the July 1st. But anytime you start a budget year that much short, we're going to wind up having an impact. So what I would rather do is come back. I am targeting the June 24th meeting. That would hopefully get us closer to more final numbers on the budget. I certainly don't want to cut any deeper than we need to, and hence the reason for the delay. But I'm confronted with the challenge that the charter says I have to have a budget voted by council, and the council has to have a budget voted in the month of May. So I think we do proceed, but I do want to at least acknowledge that that issue does exist.
Before we commence with reading through this, do you have any kind of a number, any kind of a ballpark number as to what we're looking at that this budget will be decreased by?
Yes. At this point, if the House or Senate budget were to be adopted, it would be $800,000. If we were to do the Prop 2.5 plus our excess levy, we could raise about $400,000. The town-wide adjustments, we've looked very quickly. New growth is a number that we anticipate will go up. We do anticipate some adjustment to health insurance and unemployment, about $160. And then the remaining balance that we would have to reduce is $240,000. Now that number may shrink somewhat if the Senate and the House do increase. Revenue collections in April, I believe, were 12% higher than anticipated, so the state is realizing additional revenue. So I do think that once they get through May, if that May trend holds, they probably will have these numbers be higher and we won't have to cut quite as deep. But this is literally, we just started to work on this morning, so I do have that as a initial, and that's nothing unusual because that was laid out in the budget plan that I did back in March as the concept.
Thank you.
With that being said, what I would like to do is the process that we've used in the past to go through individual budgets by subtotal. If you want to look on, we are in, I believe it's tab 2 under the voting document with the chair's indulgence, and I do have staff available, Mindy Ernst-Fournier, the treasurer, Karen Harnois, the accountant, and Will Knoyer, the chief assessor, that will be looking on with me to make sure that we flag any notations. I also do wish to thank, I think we have just about every single department head available, so if there are any specific questions in regards to any specific element of a budget, we should have the appropriate folks here to respond. If there's no objection to that, I'll commence reading, and if someone would just yell out, hold. I do look down so I don't see the hands, but obviously Madam Chair can help with that. The first one is Town Council budget. $16,679. Town manager, $250,860. Town accountant, $148,940. Assessors, $183,164. Treasurer collector, $323,250. Town attorney, $123,000. Town clerk, $160,979. Elections and registration, this is less polling hours and sale of street lists. The net is $32,444. Planning Board, $3,251. Economic Development, $81,737. Cable Advisory Committee, this actually is an offset. We get revenue, so the appropriation is zero. The transfer is $116,448. On the general government program accounts, Under administration, audit fees, $32,000. Copy machine costs, $18,000. Telephone, $41,000. Postage, $47,000. Natural gas, $65,000. Heating fuel, $241,000. I realize I'm going a little quick, but property management miscellaneous, $55,000. Land management miscellaneous, $5,000. Reserve for property repair, maintenance, and demo, $75,000. Fuel and lubricants, $250,000. The subtotal for that is $829,000. Data processing, $190,000. Council reserve, $100,000. Contributory retirement, $2,641,373. Personnel, the grand total of that is $142,000. Group health and life, $2,942,500. General insurances, including workers' comp, police and fire, IOD, and unemployment, $720,500. Under boards, committees, and commissions, this includes the Central Mass Regional Planning, Airport Commission, and Conservation, $6,979. On debt service, the principal on debt, $1,379,131. Interest on long-term debt, $1,343,689. Interest on short-term debt, $19,090. Issuance expense, $28,845. In terms of the subtotal of debt service, $1,825,403. Under the special accounts, revaluation services, $45,000. Ambulance billing, $40,000. Medicaid billing, $17,000. Preparation for sale of town-owned property, $8,000, for a subtotal of $110,000. For public safety, police, $3,186,117. Fire, $2,222,294. Inspections, $150,583. Streetlights, $191,000. On DPW, Public Works, I'll read the subtotals. The subtotal for public safety total was $5,749,994. On Public Works Operations and Administration, $1,654,243. Snow and ice, $200,200. Grand total for Public Works, $1,854,443. Under Human Services Department, less landfill reimbursement funds, $740,028. What did I say? I started off Human Services category. Health Department was the number that I read. Thank you, Madam Chair. On Veterans and Community Center, $98,948. The library, less the incentive grant, $484,554. Recreation Department, $24,518. EHS programs for veterans benefits and veterans memorials, total $117,700. Human Services subtotal, less transfers, is $1,465,748. The Southbridge Public Schools, $24,754,366. Bay Path is $1,034,970. Bay Path Debt Service, $65,246. The subtotal for Bay Path, $1,100,216. Education total, $25,854,582. And the general fund total less transfers, $45,756,826. And unless I read it wrong, I don't believe there's any holds on any, Madam Chair.
No holds. Well, now I need a vote. So we have a motion and a second. If there's no further discussion, could I have a roll call, please?
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clemens?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Not B, 12. Vote that the amount of $2,813,332 is appropriated for the FY 2014 Sewer Enterprise Fund budget to be raised from sewer usage charges and other departmental revenues.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clemens?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 13, vote that the amount of $3,115,879 is appropriated for the FY 2014 Water Enterprise Fund budget to be raised from it should be water usage charges
Yes.
and other departmental revenues.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clemens?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 14, vote to appropriate $375,000 from the landfill royalty receipts reserved account number 6790 to the FY 2014 contributory retirement account.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Clemens?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 15, vote that the town of Southbridge hereby accepts the provisions of Chapter 32B, Section 20 of the Massachusetts General Laws as amended by Chapter 68, Section 57 of the Acts of 2011 and establishes an other post-employment benefits liability trust fund, also known as OPEB trust fund. The treasurer is hereby designated to serve as custodian of the town of Southbridge's OPEB trust fund and may employ an outside custodial service to hold the monies in the fund and may, with the approval of the Health Care Security Trust Board of Trustees, invest in the state retiree trust fund established in Section 24 of Chapter 32A. The sum of $125,000 shall be appropriated from the landfill royalty receipts reserved account number 6790 as the initial investment into the OPEB trust fund.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? A roll call, please.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clemens?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 16, vote to appropriate $250,000 from the landfill royalty receipts reserved account number 6790 to the FY 2014 capital account as follows. Fire Chief Command Car, trade-in, $45,000. Police Department Armory and Equipment Storage Room, $10,000. Public Works Vehicles, $150,000. Elections and registrars, $42,000. Other, $3,000, for a grand total of $250,000.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 17. Vote to authorize the town manager to proceed with the procurement process to purchase a fire department pumper truck, and to fund this purchase that $410,000 is appropriated for the purpose of financing the purchase of a pumper truck, including without limitation all costs to furnish and equip the vehicle, and that to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the town manager, is authorized to borrow $410,000 and issue bonds or notes, therefore under Chapter 44 of the general laws, or any other enabling authority, that such bonds or notes shall be general obligations of the town. This is a two-third roll call vote
So
required.
moved.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on this? Councilor Langevin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just quickly again, because the rumorville will start happening very soon, so to try to educate the public on what we're doing here, this piece of equipment that we're replacing is a 1981 pumper. It's 32 years old. Everything has a life expectancy. I know last year we had a little disagreement over backhoes and stuff like that. It was very refreshing the other night that we through with Councilor Clements coming up with a recommendation on a policy on how we are going to be handling our capital needs in the future. So we are working in with developing a format so department heads and everyone else comes better prepared. But I'm sure within the next month we're going to hear the town of Southbridge spent $410,000 on a pumper truck, because it makes great debate whether we're spending it properly or not. In my case, I believe we really are spending this properly. 32 years of a truck is seen its days, so I have no problem supporting this. And I'm sure the naysayers are going to say, wow, we bought a street sweeper, we bought backhoes. Well, these are for the public. This is a big business we're in. Big business, multi-million dollars, and we have to give our departments the tools to work with. So I will support this. I won't look back on this. It's a good investment, and the Southbridge Fire Department is starting to get in a little better shape with equipment, slow and steady. And the town manager did come up with the finance packages and explained how he was we're going to borrow on this. So I have no problem supporting this tonight, and I thank you for your time, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else have anything to add? Councilor Moriarty.
Just briefly through you, and Chief DeFranco can correct me if I'm wrong, I think worth noting as well is the industry kind of standard. This should have been retired roughly 12 years ago. So I think that's important to keep in mind as well. This is obviously an older vehicle. It's had plenty of wear and tear, and at this point is certainly in need of being repaired, or replaced rather. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Did you have anything you wanted to add to that, Chief?
Echo the same sentiments. Since about 1997, firefighters have been required to be inside enclosed cabs. As you all know, this is an open cab truck. The seat belts are not proper, so it doesn't meet today's requirements as far as safety goes. For those of you that are a little more knowledgeable in town history, the truck when it originally arrived here was lime green. So it's already been repainted. It's already gone through some motor work. We just had some body work done again about 4 years ago. We spent about 10 grand on the truck. So it's time to replace it. And to be truthful, I wouldn't be up here asking for a new fire truck if we didn't need a new fire truck. $410,000 is a serious expense, and we take that you know, with a heavy heart that we have to ask for these types of funds. But we're here, we need the truck, and I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you very much. Mr. Clark?
I do wish to say to the point, you know, this is a deliberative capital program that we're trying to implement. We were very successful on the school project to have some savings that we had. We didn't have to borrow as much, and we did make a commitment to the state that we would spend at a certain level. So we are doing this within our spending plan, and this has been a capital item that's been on the budget for several years. So it's come due, we have the funding to cover it, and we recommend going forward with it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councilor Clements?
Thank you. Having been in attendance at the meeting, there was a very healthy discussion. Majority of the councilors were at this meeting in regards to this. Quite a concern when the number came up. And I want to include that obviously this will come back at some point to subcommittee when the process takes effect. And we've challenged, of course, up to $410,000. With any luck, maybe it'll be less. And we're hoping for that, and looking at potential trade-in values and ways to dispose of the existing vehicle that will be beneficial to the town. I also want to point out, if you were listening to the minutes that were read, Citizens Member Janes was opposed, but he wasn't opposed to I just say this because of the discussion we had. He wasn't necessarily opposed to the need for the fire truck. He was concerned about the need for a firehouse, new firehouse building, and therefore thinking that perhaps that would be the logical approach. So he understood the need, and while we had one opposed at subcommittee, really it was unanimous in the need for the fire truck. It was just in what order of operations, so to speak, in terms of expending the funds. And because building a fire station, a new firehouse, would take years, and we don't necessarily have another 5 or 6 years on this truck. So that was, I just wanted to clarify that we were unanimous on the need. And hopefully we will come in under the number, and we'll have what we need here to protect the people of Southbridge. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilor. Anyone else wish to weigh in? Councilor Peliquin.
I would just like to commend the manager on all of his hard work financing the new school. I know it was a lot of work, and there was a lot of juggling, and I think the fact that we came in under what we thought the borrowing costs would be is fantastic, and this is a great way to use that borrowing capacity, because we do really need this. Thanks.
Councilor Landry.
Again, just to educate the public too, currently the way our pumpers stand, we have the 1981 that we're currently trying to replace right now. Our next one is a 1989, and then our newest one is a 2007, was it, or 8? And just in reference now, and I was sitting on the council back then, in 2007, the price tag on that vehicle was about $385,000. So if the public, some people that disagree with this says, oh, we can wait, the price just keeps on going. It doesn't stop. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in. So, you know, I mean, look at his 1989. That's probably something that he's going to probably have to look at another 5 years from now and try to buy time. But the bottom line is it's still going to be an antique. So just when we're sitting up here, we're not just throwing away the money. We're trying to make the best decision for the departments and for the taxpayers at the same time. And I just feel that we need to say that, because sometimes we don't educate them enough on why we do things. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilor. Anybody else have anything they want to add? Okay. Can we have a roll call, please?
Council Moriarty?
Yes.
Council Nicola?
Yes.
Council Peliquin?
Yes.
Council Regis?
Yes.
Council Vandal?
Yes.
Council Clements?
Yes.
Council Langevin?
Yes.
Council Marcucci?
Yes.
8 yes.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Agenda item number 18, vote to reauthorize the, quote, leased properties revolving fund, end quote, under the provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half, to pay repairs, improvements, expenses, and utilities for all town-owned leased property except 115 Marcy Street, from lease payments to be deposited in the account, with all expenditures to be approved by the town manager and total expenditures from the account not to exceed $100,000 per year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peloquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clemens?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 19, vote to reauthorize the, quote, daycare center leased properties revolving fund, end quote, under the provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half, to pay repairs, improvements, expenses, and utilities for the leased property at 115 Marcy Street, from lease payments to be deposited in the account, with all expenditures to be approved by the town manager and total expenditures from the account not to exceed $100,000 per year.
Second.
Discussion? Councilor Moria, I'm sorry, Councilor Peloquin.
I don't know, I don't anticipate any controversy on any of these revolving fund items. I don't know if it's possible if we can take them up in one vote, or if we have to do it. So.
I would say not,
No.
just from the size of them, and they're so specific. But
Okay.
it's a
I
nice
know our
thought.
agenda is very long,
Right.
so I thought I'd throw that out there. Thanks.
Yeah. I'll read faster. Anybody have anything else to add? No? Roll call, please.
Counselor Peloquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clemens?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 20, vote to reauthorize the, quote, Southbridge Airport leased properties revolving fund, end quote, under the provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half, to pay repairs, improvements, expenses, and utilities for the leased property at the Southbridge Municipal Airport, from lease payments to be deposited in the account, with all expenditures to be approved by the town manager and total expenditures from the account not to exceed $100,000 per year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clemens?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peloquin?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 21, vote to reauthorize the, quote, municipal hearing officer revolving fund, end quote, under the provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half, to pay expenses associated with the administration and collection of fines in violation of Mass General Law, Chapter 148A and Chapter 115 of the Acts of 2009, such fines to be deposited into the account, with all expenditures to be approved by the town manager and total expenditures from the account not to exceed $10,000 per year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clemens?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peloquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 22, vote to reauthorize the, quote, Southbridge Middle High School Store Revolving Fund, end quote, under the provisions of Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 44, Section 53E and a half, to pay expenses associated with the school store from receipts to be deposited into the account, with all expenditures to be approved by the school superintendent and total expenditures from the account not to exceed $25,000 per year.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Quick roll call, and then we'll take a quick break, okay?
Counselor Clemens?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peloquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. We'll take a 5-minute break.
Swallow.
It's a gambling. Here we go, back to the meeting. Crazy people. Agenda item number 23, vote to amend Schedule 1 to approve a 2% increase in other positional changes as proposed May 20th, 2013, to be effective July 1st, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 24, vote to amend Schedule 5 as proposed May 20th, 2013, to be effective July 1st, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 25, vote to transfer $300,000 from the following accounts to the Snow and Ice General Fund accounts to fund the final FY 2013 snow and ice expenditures. Stabilization Fund, $213,473.03. Free cash, $86,526.97. And we do need a two-thirds roll call vote on this item.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. Can we have a roll call, please?
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 26, vote to ratify the contract between the Commonwealth of Massachusetts of Conservation and Recreation and the Town of Southbridge for the management and operation of the Andrew J. Petro Swimming Pool.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Clark.
Madam Chair, I did have a conversation with DCR today. I think we're in a good place with them. I did request, and I believe it was in the material, that on the element related to the administration of the conservation restriction, I did receive a call from DEP today, and they said that element may not be needed, so we may have that issue resolved. So I would necessarily restrict the scope of this, but I wouldn't expand it. But we did put that in there about the conservation restriction, and I believe that may not be needed. So just wanted to alert the council to that change.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Peliquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 27, vote to ratify the contract for the operation of the Andrew J. Petro Pool to USA Pool in the amount of $82,400 for up to 3 years pursuant to their proposal submitted May 15th, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mr. Clark?
Just in terms of this, it is $82,400 per year for up to 3 years. If we do sign up for 3 years, it would be my intent to do so, then the amount becomes just under $80,000. So I would do that because it would be a cost savings to the town by signing up for 3 years.
Thank you. Councilor Clements?
Thank you. Yes, my concern was the up to 3 years and what our intention, which you just answered. Is there still an out clause? I honestly did not go through this whole proposal today. I went through the rest of my packet because I was out of town.
Yes,
Is there something in there
I
that's
believe there is.
I mean, obviously, if they don't fulfill their obligations, I would imagine, I've seen the other contract with the state, so I'm just curious, because I know this was new. We only just got the bids Friday, was it?
We just
or
received them last Thursday, correct?
Thursday, okay. So I'm just, a 3-year commitment in case things don't work, it just worries me a little bit. It's just all new for us to be managing the pool like this.
Yeah, I can't put my finger on it right now.
Okay.
I did review it when it came in.
And you're
If you want to
confident?
put that stipulation on, provided that there's an out clause, I'm happy to, it may be in there, I just can't put my finger on it.
No, the fact that you are able to respond to that question and know that you've seen it and read it is good enough. I just wanted to make sure that there was, if you're planning on 3 years, then I want to make sure that we have,
Yes.
thank you. Yep.
Anybody else have anything they want to add? Roll call, please.
Counselor Palaquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 28, vote to accept the warrant for the state and local election on Tuesday, June 25th, 2013.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Palaquin?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 29, vote to ratify the contract between the Town of Southbridge and Van Ness Hangen Bruslin Incorporated, also known as VHB, in the amount of $46,920 for survey and engineering downtown intersection improvements of Hamilton Street, La Rochelle Way, Hook, Central, and Foster Streets to be funded by CDBG.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Palaquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 30, vote to ratify the contract between the Town of Southbridge and 310 Main Street LLC for facade rehabilitation and to recommend deferred loans to 310 Main Street LLC in the amount of $38,643, pending additional review of owner's compliance with tax and regulatory requirements of the Town of Southbridge.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. Roll call, please.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Palaquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. 31, vote to ratify the contract between the Town of Southbridge and P&K Sports Enterprise Incorporated to 44 Hamilton Street for facade rehabilitation and to recommend deferred loans to P&K Sports Enterprise Incorporated in the amount of $27,852, pending additional review of owner's compliance with tax and regulatory requirements of the Town of Southbridge.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Palaquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. Agenda item number 32, vote to commence the third reading of the revised medical marijuana bylaw, Section 7-302, per changes made by the town attorney. Quote, "No person shall have in their possession an open container containing any intoxicating liquor or smoke and ingest marijuana in any park, playground, cemetery, conservation land, or other public place in the town of Southbridge except otherwise permitted by the town manager. Any person violating this bylaw shall be punishable and face fines as provided in Section 1-111 of this code, Article 7, Section 31-1, Town Council meeting November 29th, 1974, July 8th, 1975. This is the third and final reading.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
Any discussion? Councilor Langevin?
Shouldn't we amend this, though, just to put that medical?
She read it with it.
Okay. So we're good legally? Just want it clean. I'm all set. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Anyone else? Upon pain of me wringing your cute little neck, anybody else got anything? Okay. Roll call, please.
Counselor Marcucci?
Yes.
Counselor Moriarty?
Yes.
Counselor Nicola?
Yes.
Counselor Palaquin?
Yes.
Counselor Regis?
Yes.
Counselor Vandal?
Yes.
Counselor Clements?
Yes.
Counselor Langevin?
Yes.
8 yes.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Okay. Agenda item number 33 is Councilors' Forum. Councilor Langevin.
I'm all set this evening. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councilor Regis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just quickly, we spent about $55 million tonight, give or take. I just want to make sure, Councilor Langevin was talking about informing the public. My colleagues up here spend a lot of time, other than the 2 Monday evenings, you see them here monthly. This isn't done just quickly without any thought. They spend a lot of time in subcommittee meetings, and all this gets vetted at subcommittee meetings, a process that I enjoy. To be perfectly honest, I don't enjoy this up here, but I do enjoy the subcommittee process. So a lot of healthy discussion goes on. The department heads attend meetings. It's very healthy discussion. And so I just want the public to know that. There wasn't any discussion up here this evening. There was no grandstanding up here this evening, which I enjoyed. And we got it done. So it's not done just haphazardly. It's done with a lot of thought. And like I said, the council spend a lot of time in subcommittees and other nightly meetings. So just remember that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Councilor Marcucci.
I'm all set. Thank you, Madam
Okay.
Chair.
Councilor Peliquin.
Through you to the manager, I wanted to congratulate you on your WCAC Action Award last week. I wanted to come, but something came up and I wasn't able to. So I wanted to say congratulations. And that's it for me, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Moriarty, return the favor.
The only thing I've got is pretty much the same plug as last week, especially with the holiday coming up this weekend. Again, our Relay for Life team, which benefits the fight against cancer, is putting on what we call a flag subscription service. And what we do is it's about 2 foot tall stick with about a flag that's, I think, about roughly 12 by 14 or so. And what we do is for a $10 donation for the American Cancer Society, on or before the 4 major kind of patriotic holidays, Memorial Day, Flag Day, Independence Day, and Veterans Day, we will place that in your front lawn, by your mailbox, what have you. So again, if people are interested, feel free to contact myself at 774-230-6870. You can also go online to facebook.com/DickensRelay and get some information there, including the little printout. If you see this or you decide you want to do this after Memorial Day, that's fine too. We don't prorate it. We're just looking for the $10 either way, but it's going to a good cause, obviously, with the fight against cancer. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Vandal.
Thank you. I've gotten a couple of inquiries. People are asking, what's the low-flying helicopters doing in town? They were on South Street, South Street and the bottom of Dennison Hill. They've been hovering around out in that area, and it's on more than one occasion. And they asked me if I knew what was going on, and I said I'll find out for them. So does anybody know what's going on?
Yeah, I'll have to check into it. I know they have the life flight landing pad is in close proximity.
It wasn't life flight.
Okay. We'll check.
Thank you.
We can see.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Councilor Clements.
Oh, thank you. On what Councilor Reed just said, thanks for making those comments. It feels good. A lot of times, not only do we have healthy discussion, but we have heavy-hearted discussion, because we do have to spend money that we know it's very difficult to make for many people out there. And so we come to our decisions sometimes with a very heavy heart, but knowing that what needs to get done for the protection and the ongoing runnings of our town. So, thanks. I'm going to miss you up here. I did notice, and I was told, that the Rec Committee is having a fundraiser next Saturday, June 1st, so I'm mentioning it. If you haven't seen it, I believe I saw it in the paper when I was running through them today. It's June 1st at the Polish Club in Southbridge. I believe 7 p.m. It's going to be a 50s dance, so get your sock hops and sneakers and whatever on and go on down and support the Rec Committee. The money is going for the funding for your concerts on the Common, which is a wonderful endeavor every year. We're very fortunate to have a good group who works hard to get enough money to provide some entertainment for us on the weekends. So that is happening next Saturday, next Saturday? Yeah, 2 weeks, June 1st. So, and June 1st being, obviously. Maybe we could take a moment also, there was some very bad tornadoes today, you might have heard, south of Oklahoma City. Just happened late this afternoon, and it was quite sad to watch, and it brings up a lot of feelings for the June 1st, which is coming up on ours. So if we could all think about them and keep everybody down there in our prayers, that would be a wonderful thing. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay. Thank you. Discussion of our next meeting date?
Monday, June 10th, 7 p.m. here in Chambers.
Okay, it's all set. And can I have a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Good night, everybody.